Good evening, everybody. This is the prep for the 2024 FHSAA High School Rules Test. On the screen right now, you should all be able to see accessing the FHSAA test. You should have received by now an email from Jeremy Hernandez. It may come up as Arbiter Sports in your inbox with the attachment on the right. In that attachment, line item number 3, you can see a couple of different links. These links take you to the USA Lacrosse website, where the FHSAA test is being hosted. You should click on either A, Boys Apprentice Officials, or option C, Boys Advanced Officials. When you do, it will take you into US Lacrosse. And what you should see, if I can figure out how to get my screen to rotate, there we go. That's that. What you should see on the left-hand side is your login to USA Lacrosse. After you have logged in, on the right-hand side, you'll see your profile. Once you've logged into USA Lacrosse, then go back to that PDF file and click on either the apprentice course for the newer officials or the advanced course, and you decide which one you want to take. The advanced course is going to take you about an hour and a half, and then the test. The apprentice course has 16 different modules.
Wow.
After you have logged in, after you've gotten into the apprentice course or the advanced, you're going to see this screen in front of you. Click on the red, click here to enroll. After you've clicked the enroll, you will then see this for the apprentice course. In order to move to the next module, you have to complete the first module, and then the next, and then the next, and so on and so on. This is what the advanced module looks like. As you can see, I have completed all of them. Underneath each section, and you can't see it for the rules exam, but I completed that as well. Underneath each section, it shows 1 of 1 completed. And after you've got that, you can then move on. Once you have completed all of the modules and then the test, you should see on the left-hand side of the screen, course completed, 5 of 5 completed sections, and you should be able to view your certificate. If you do not get to this screen, something went wrong somewhere. Either you didn't complete something or you didn't complete the test. If you feel you have completed everything and completed the test, you need to reach out to Marty Joyner at USA Lacrosse. You will see his email when I start the next slide presentation. And Marty will look and figure out what's going on. I know that one of the officials I spoke to yesterday says he completed everything and the test, didn't get a certificate. I'm sorry, got a certificate, but it doesn't show that he's completed. So unfortunately, I don't have access to any of it. You've got to reach out to USA Lacrosse. So with Jim Vacco's expertise on the computer, we have put together a PowerPoint presentation for you. We have 50 slides, 1 for each of the questions. We have 50 rules, which tie to each of the questions, and we have 50 answers. So without further ado, I'm sorry, Paul, before I turn it over to you, as you can see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any problems with the test at all, or with the videos, if you complete a module and it doesn't show you're complete and you can't move forward, email Marty Joyner. He is very responsive. We are the first in the country to use this. So if there are any bugs, we're finding them. I've already found 3 of them back in late December, early January when I started to play with this. And there are a couple of things that have been found that have been fixed. But again, if you have any problems, please reach out to Marty. If for any reason you reach out to Marty and you've not heard from him within 2 days, please let me know. I will call him. Without further ado, Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Do most of you guys have you should have the test in front of you, right? You printed it out, I hope. So that would be, that would be very helpful if you did that. So Jim, you're gonna click to the next screen if we're
Yep.
done the
Yep.
rule.
So
Okay.
as soon as you read the question, I'll
Yeah,
click to
yeah,
the
okay.
rule and then the answer.
Okay. After the face-off whistle starting play, the ball goes out of bounds between the restraining lines and the officials do not know who last touched the ball. How should play be restarted? All right. So it's with a reface. Okay. It's full, that's rule 432. Really just cleaning up some verbiage. It's always been that way. If it goes out of bounds below the restraining boxes, okay, then you go AP. All right, so between the boxes, reface. That's the only time you reface. All right. Number two, on a face-off, upon the whistle starting play, face-off player A1 does not play the ball and initiates a body check against B1. This is one we just talked about with Mark Martinez. Throw the flag and 1 or 2 minutes, or it depends how severe it is. 1 to 3 minutes actually. And again, if it's not a really violent body check, he just pushes him off. You're just going to award the ball, okay, to team A. It's just a technical foul. But this question says it initiates a body check, so we're going to call that an illegal body check. All right, and you can look that up on 433. Again, if you guys have any questions as we go through these, please speak up. All right, number three, on a face-off, whistle, A1 clamps and controls the ball. What can he legally do after the clamp? Okay, we know he can, with one step, he can rake the ball to a teammate. All right, so that's B. Within one step.
Sorry, I'm typing something.
Okay. Number four, teammate coach requests a stick check on goalie B1. The stick has multiple shooting strings and a very deep pocket and is 48 inches long. What is the correct call? All right. Rule 162, no foul. Okay. Goalie sticks are different than field players. They can have deep pockets. Okay. They can have multiple shooting strings. And of course, it can be 48 inches long. All right. So that's on the goalie stick, much different. Number five, on a restart, A1 has the ball and B1's nearer than 5 yards from A1, is intending to play A1. Official blows his whistle. What should the official do next? All right. No foul, legal play, but watch B1 to make sure what? Make sure he creates that 5 yard buffer down the field. Okay, this rule's been in effect for a couple of years, and some people still fully don't understand it. Coaches as well. You can blow your whistle if the defender's within 5 yards. Okay. Coaches will be yelling, he's got to be 5 yards. That's not 5 yards. Give him 5 yards. None of that means anything. Okay. Quick restart. If B1 is a yard away, if he doesn't play him, goes down the field and creates a 5 yard buffer and then plays him, that's fine. Okay. Of course, if he plays him right away, then it's a flag down. All right. So just be aware of that. Okay. A lot of the parents and the coaches don't understand fully what that rule is. But
Well, two quick comments. Honestly, if the coaches would keep their mouths shut, they might actually draw a delay of game penalty because he stays within the 5 yards and plays him. But
right,
as soon as the coach starts yelling it from the sideline, the
backs
kid
them up.
moves, and now you're not seeing it. The other
Yep.
place, Paul, where I see this and then not giving him the 5 yards on a dead ball restart from the crease,
The goalie. Yep.
you have to give the goalie the same 5 yards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Good point. Yep. Yep. Number six, in the scrimmage area, A1's helmet comes off after legal contact from an opposing player. Ruling, stop play immediately. A1 must leave until after a restart following the first dead ball. Okay. Helmet comes off. Okay. He's got to leave the field. Okay. The helmet's treated just like a shoe or a glove in high school. Okay. The only thing is, for the helmet, he's got to come off. Or if he loses his shoe, he can put it back on. But they always have to go off. Okay. No matter if it's illegal or legal, which brings us to number seven. In the scrimmage area, A1's helmet comes off after illegal contact from opposing player. Stop play immediately. A1 must leave the field. So those are exactly the same. Okay, in this one, there'll be a foul, there'll be a flag, okay, for the illegal contact, whatever it was.
So, Paul, I had a situation in a game on Saturday night, which in a high school game would be done a little differently than in college. So, defender cross checks the goalie, goalie's helmet comes off, goalie has to come out of the game, replacement goalie comes in. In high school, how should we treat that?
So we talked, Jimmy and I talked about that last night, and we brought it up to Walt and Seidman, and they kind of just brushed it off right now. You know, they can use common sense, but it's not in there. It's got to be in there for next year because you have to treat that just like a injury or a penalty. You know, so you know, I I I I would give him, I'd give him a minute. I'd give the
Yep.
backup goalie a minute warm up for high school. You know,
Yeah. In
even though it
college,
doesn't say it.
we don't give them the time.
College, you don't know. No, no. A1 hits B2 at a legal body check, but then slides up and follows through the B2's into B2's head neck area. What do you guys have there? Ruling 1 minute non releasable. Okay. And we call that indirect. Okay. So the check started legally and then it rode up and became illegal. So that's indirect. All right. So that'll be 1 minute unreleasable. Okay. Remember, we have our indirect, direct, and our flagrant and excessive fouls of 3 minutes. So just remember the tier there. A1 has possession while spinning and dodging through the scrimmage area. B1 attempts a stick check, and B1 stick makes a light glancing contact with A1's helmet. No call. Okay, we call that a brush, but it's actually even mentioned in the rule book as a brush. A lot of people will say brush. We don't do that. Just if it's a no call, no call. You know, just let it go. All right. Number 10, which of the following is a part of the correct procedure for checking a cross? All right. All of the above. We don't have all the
Yeah,
answers.
unfortunately, we weren't able to get all of the
I
answers
know.
to all the questions this year.
Yeah, but they'll see them when they take it. Yeah.
Yes.
11. Did we do 10? Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
A1's in the offensive box, passes to A2 near midfield. A2 misses the pass and the ball's rolling to the center line. Before the ball reaches the center line, the defenseman A3 bats the ball back with his stick to keep it in A's offensive end of the field. That's a legal play. Okay. As long as he doesn't possess the ball. All right. If he bats it back, that's why they're taught to use the back of their stick. If they use the front of their stick, they probably will possess it. Long, at any time, if they possess it, it's a turnover. Okay. 12, A1's in the offensive box, passes to A2 near midfield. A2 misses the pass. The ball's rolling to the center line. Before the ball reaches the center line, defenseman A3 kicks the ball to keep it in Team A's offensive end of the field. What do you guys have there? That's the illegal procedure because he was on the other side and he kicked it over. So his foot was touching the other side and we kicked it. So you can't kick it. Anytime it crosses that center line or breaks the plane, it's a turnover. 13, the correct face-off procedure is D, place the ball on the ground. Not the round, the ground. Tell players to go down, adjust the sticks or body, stay set, and blow the whistle while stationary or moving. So you guys can, vary your cadence. You can vary what you do in high school. Okay, we can move the players around. All right, try not to do it a lot. Just try to, especially do it early, and then you shouldn't have to do it anymore. 14, while the ball's in play, who may call a timeout? The head coach or any player on the team with the ball in possession. All right, here's a trick question. Mark Martinez, the assistant coach for any team, calls for a timeout. Are you going to give it to him?
No,
Why?
because it's either the head coach or a player.
What if you can't determine the head coach from the assistant coach? You're focused on the field and you hear timeout, timeout. You're not going to
Well,
give it to him?
I guess that's a good point.
I would, and I'll tell you why. because you have no idea who's yelling timeout. All right. You award the timeout. The head coach says, I didn't call timeout. And then you say, well, that guy called timeout. And the coach says, well, he's the assistant. You say, well, the assistant can't call timeout. That's a technical foul. So you just kind of turn it back on them. I don't think we should differentiate between voices on the sideline. By
Yeah.
rule, yeah, the head coach and any player in the team can call timeout. But a lot of times you hear some refs say, don't take any crap from the assistant coaches. They can't call timeouts. Don't be that good. I say let them do it. Turn it around. And just it's something that I learned, and it's I think it's a valuable tool to have. 15. A1's penalized 1 minute for slashing with 20 seconds left in the period. With 4 seconds left in the period, B1 slashes A3, flag down. Period ends with A3 in the possession of the ball. No other players are serving penalties. How is the next period started? Okay. It's going to be a face-off. Okay. Because the second flag down created a even situation. So whenever there's an even situation, you're always going to face off. All right. If it's uneven, then you'll figure out who gets possession. But here it created a even situation. Each team had one player in the box. Okay. So that's why that is a face-off.
Guys, be careful with this question, because the A3 in there makes you think there's a third person involved. And there is a third involved. They've got the ball.
Right.
But they're not getting a penalty. They drew one.
Right.
So there's still only 2 people getting penalties here.
Yep. A1 possession falls to his knees and continues to play as 2 defenders attempt to check his stick. The on official should. Yeah, wait, watch, and see what happens. Everything is legal. Okay. You can stick check a player while he's on the ground. Okay. You can stick check him. You can try to get the ball out. I mean, of course you can't slash him, but you can check his stick and all that. You can't body check him. All right. That's why it says wait and watch to see what develops. Okay. And just as a player can play the ball from the ground as well. A1 with possession falls to his knees and continues to play as B1 attempts to check his stick. A1 clamps his stick to his chest to maintain possession. The official should call, that's withholding. Right? Anytime he withholds the ball, that's an easy one. 18, A1 has possession and is closely guarded by B1. A2 sets a pick and is stationary and motionless. As B1 makes contact with A2, A2 pushes B1 off his path. And then A2 rolls away. What do you have there? All right, it's an illegal screen. Okay. Anytime there's contact, okay, there, he's got to be motionless. It sounds like he leaned into it and made contact. A1 has possession, is guarded by B1. Both players are running full speed. A2 sets a pick, and B2, who does not see the pick, unintentionally runs full speed into A2, causing A2 and B1 to fall to the ground. The official should. Jim, just keep this up for a second.
Yeah.
Wait and watch to make sure all are okay. Play to continue. I disagree with this. This is the pick guy's a defenseless player. Okay. The answer is C on the test. All right. This is common sense. If he gets pushed off and there's there's no violent contact. Okay, that's one thing. But he's got to go around that pick guy. And if they say, it's his responsibility. If there's violent contact there, I'm throwing a flag. All right, because that pick guy is motionless and he's defenseless. Bottom line, also on this situation, just make sure the guy doesn't come through the pick with his cross, like a cross check, something like that. All right. Jim, do you want to answer questions as you get them? Or
yeah, Randy Kerr just asked the question: what flag would we call on that?
On which one?
So the way the question reads, because they use the word unintentionally, that's the reason this answer works. If he intentionally blew him up as he's running through him, I would say you have an illegal body check.
Well, what I'm saying is unintentionally. Still, if he blows him up unintentionally, that's still a foul. Okay. Yes. Players don't unintentionally want to go off sides, but they do. I
Okay.
mean, I don't like this question,
Yeah.
but if you guys want to get it right, answer C. But if you want to get it right in the game and you see violent contact, even unintentional, throw a flag. And I'm telling you guys that.
All right, let me throw in a
I'll throw
little
a flag
hint
every
here,
time.
guys.
What-
Randy
what would
Kerr
you
had a
call?
question.
Paul, what would you call on that?
Hold on, let me throw a little hint here. Randy Kerr had a question, and what would you call there? You got two choices. You got illegal body check, or you got unnecessary roughness. When you call an illegal body check, that's by definition. That's above the shoulders, below the waist, from behind to the head. So that's probably not your best choice. If you call unnecessary roughness, that's your judgment. And your judgment cannot be questioned or brought up by the coach. So anytime you can call unnecessary roughness over illegal body check, go with unnecessary roughness, because you have a lot more latitude and a lot more leeway, because that's your judgment, not definition. Illegal body check is by definition.
That's a good point, Jimmy. Yeah, and I know several guys that I've worked with feel the same way as I do on that one. A1 has possession behind the goal, away from the ball. Midfielder A2 checks B1 stick out of B1's hands, cuts to the goal, receives a pass from A1, shoots and scores. The official, no goal, that's interference. Okay, so beyond 5 yards, you got to check this stick. Okay, you can't do that. All right. So that's, probably the single looking in or the trail looking in, watching for illegal picks and all that nonsense. On a restart, A1 has possession. B1 is 3 yards from A1. On the whistle, B1 steps aside to allow A1 a path to the goal. A1 veers into B1 and initiates contact. B1 does not do anything that could be construed as defending. All right. No violation there. Okay, because B1 got out of the way, and A1 tried to create that technical foul. All right, so there's nothing there. On a restart, A1 has possession. B1 waving his stick is 3 yards away from A1. After the whistle restarting play, A1's pass is deflected by the stick of B1. All right, that is flagged down. Okay, he was inside the 5 yards. Okay, that was just like the point that Jim made with the goalie. Same thing. Goalie, you can't on a restart inside the goal, like after a crease violation, goalie starts with the ball. All right, that attacker has to be 5 yards away. All right, number 23. A1's in possession of the ball, is running down the field with no player from team B near A1. A1 loses a piece of a mandatory equipment. The official shall stop play immediately to prevent injury, even if the scoring play is in progress, and award the ball back to team A. Okay. 24, A1 scores the game-winning goal in overtime. The head coach of team B immediately requests a stick check on the player scored the goal. The official should inform the coach the game is over, no stick check permitted. Game's over. That's it. 25. B1's in his defensive half of the field and throws the ball across the midfield and into the attack area. The ball makes contact within the attack area. Then the ball rolls into the alley where B2 picks it up. Has the offense 10 count been satisfied? No. That's a tricky one. Just keep that one up for a second, Jim. It's got to be carried into the attack area. All right. So even though it's in the attack area, loose, comes back out, it's got to be carried in to make to fulfill the 10 seconds. That's good.
Hey, Paul, just check on this one. The ball was thrown across the midfield, so the ball was never across the midline, because you can satisfy the 10 count by throwing the ball into the box, but you have to have possession of it over the midline first.
You have to have possession over the midline. Yes.
So if you go back and read this, he threw it from the other side of midfield. That's why this
Oh,
is
you're right. You're right. Yeah. So that's why it's not. Yeah.
Not many people know this rule, and
Yeah.
And so you probably wouldn't be in trouble if you satisfied the count, but
Yeah.
this is actually the real rule.
Yeah, so the defender can't just chuck it into the attack area and say, "Oh, I met my count." I mean, if the attackman picks it up in the box, then that's fine. But it's the defensive half of the field. That's the wording. Yeah.
Paul, one of the things I saw people struggling with on Saturday is when they were starting their count. I saw some officials starting their count when the loose ball came over midfield.
Mhm.
We
Me
need to
too.
remember that the count doesn't start until there's possession in the offensive half of the field.
Possession over the midfield line. Right. That's correct. Yep. That's a good one. 26. When is the 22nd count not restarted? All right. Clearing team loses possession and regains possession. This play continues. Yeah. So that 20 count is always on. Okay. Until there's a change of possession. All right. So defender could lose the ball, and it's a scrum. Make sure that timer stays on. Always keep the timer on. Don't turn the timer off too early. It's okay to let the timer run and if it's over the 20, I would always let it run. Timer's your friend. Remember that. Those of us who have them. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of the presentation.
Yeah. A1
Wait,
attempts
I'm
to
sorry,
check
I also
B1.
have a question on that one.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Sarah.
So, what if the possession, so defense is clearing it. There's a scrum in the midfield. Offense picks it up
10
and
10 count.
then lose. So if it changes possession, is the
Yep.
20 count, the 20 count
20,
reset?
20 stops, and now you have a 10 on the offense going the other way.
Okay,
Okay. Does that make sense? So the defense is clearing. The
yeah,
attacking team is riding, and they check a stick and they pick up the ball. They're under a 10 count. Okay.
yeah, okay,
If the attackman loses it and the defense picks it up again, then you're back to a 20 count. So every
Okay.
time every time there's possession, the count changes. Okay. Yeah.
but if the defense loses possession, then regains possession without the opposite side gaining possession, then it stays the 20 count. The
Correct.
same thing.
Until they get it over midfield line.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
That's right. Okay, good. Yep. 27. A1 attempts to check B1 stick, but instead of hitting A1 stick, makes slight contact with B1's head or neck area. Okay, we kind of had this one already. It was kind of a repeat, right? With the it's called a brush, yeah. But again, we're not gonna say anything. We're just not gonna call a slash. 28. A1 attempts to check B1 stick, but instead of A1 stick strikes B1's head or neck area. Okay. That's a slash, 1 minute releasable. If the slash was excessive, violent, or uncontrolled, 2 minutes. All right. I know some areas of the state they're calling slashes to the head, 2 minutes locked in or whatever, but a slash to the head's a slash to the head, really basic. If he comes from, Johnny Appleseed back here, it's a violent hit, then you got to use common sense, and then you can put him in for 2 minutes. Okay. 29. A cross that is found to be illegal can be corrected and can return to the game. What does everyone think about that one? True. Yep. After a penalty, stick may return to the game, but is subject to reinspection. Yeah. Yeah. So if it's a deep pocket, they can fix it and bring it back. If the stick is too short, they're gonna have to, take the shaft off and replace it. But if it's a deep pocket, the shooting strings below 4 inches, they can correct all that and come back in.
Paul, if the stick comes back in and it hasn't been fixed.
Hasn't been fixed.
Yep.
It's subject to reinspection. So, if the coach from the team wants a stick check, or if we decide to take a stick again, he can get another penalty. Yeah. Let's say he gets what if he gets us a deep pocket and then he gets a 3 minute? That's 4 minutes and he's only got 1 minute left, and then he has a slash. He's going to be fouled out. He's going to be fouled out.
And that's another question in the testing.
That's another whole.
This actually happened where the stick was checked. It was deep. They didn't fix it. This was St. Thomas versus Lake Highland Prep up in Orlando. It wasn't fixed. The stick came back in. St. Thomas called for another stick check on the same stick. It was deep again, and they started the fourth quarter with 4 minutes of locked in man up,
Yeah.
and came back to
Yeah.
tie the game.
Yeah, well, you're it's a risk you're taking to not fix the stick. It's kind of stupid. A1 in the act of passing the ball deliberately strikes the body of B1 with this follow through motion. Okay, that's a slash. 1 to 3 minutes, depending on the severity. Yep. Now on a shot, you can't have a slash. So go back to that one. If I shoot the ball and I slash someone that on a shot, that's not a slash, but on an act of passing, it could be. FYI. 31. Which of the following are examples of player in a defenseless position? All are examples, whichever they are. Setting a pick. Just kidding. 32. How does a player foul out of a game? There we go. 5 minutes of personal fouls. Okay, so that's a slash, a deep pocket, a trip, unnecessary roughness, illegal body check. All right, not offsides, not a conduct foul, not a push from behind. Those are 30 seconds. So it's got to be 1 minute. And if the personals add up to 5 minutes, he fouls out. You don't have to fill out a report. It's just kind of like basketball. He fouls out. Okay. He's not ejected. He's just fouled out. An ejection is something totally different. Hopefully we'll get to that too. Thank you.
Since you brought up an ejection and reports, in the event that, and we talked about this at the annual meeting, in the event that somebody is ejected from the game, you do have to write up the AT6 form, which is on the FHSAA website, and it goes to your assigner and to me before it is submitted to the FHSAA.
Yep. Very good. A1 commits a flagrant unsportsmanlike act after the game has ended and the officials observe the violation. It's C ruling A1 is ejected from the game and noted in the scorebook. Okay, so that's still our jurisdiction. Right after the game, still our jurisdiction if we see it. Okay, so report it. Okay, and then just take note. A1 receives a second unsportsmanlike penalty for the repeatedly committing the same technical foul. All right. 1 minute releasable. Player can remain in the game. 1 minute releasable. This is a little bit different because it's an unsportsmanlike because of the committing the same technical foul. So he's not going to be locked in. All right. 35. B1's clearing the ball in the defensive alley where A1 runs through the crease. A1 ruling flag down. Okay. So if the goalie or the defenseman have possession of the ball outside the crease and they're clearing it, the attackman can't step in the crease. That's a flag down. Okay. If they have the ball in the crease and they step in the crease, that'll be a play on. Okay. And you let them either run out or complete the pass. If they don't complete the pass, you blow the whistle and award it to them. 36. On the face-off, A1 clamps the ball to the ground with his cross. He then pins A1 stick to the ground with his stick, ruling. That's holding on B1. Okay, so on the face-off, you can't clamp down on his on your opponent's stick. That's just a hold, right? Quick restart, quick whistle, quick restart, get out of there. A1 has possession of the ball. B1 pins the cross of A1 to the ground with his own cross, preventing A1 from performing a normal function. This is different because this isn't the face-off. So this is A1 has possession of the ball. All right, and he's running down the field or wherever. Stick on stick is not a foul. Okay, stick on glove, stick on elbow, stick on body is. So just remember, stick on stick. A lot of coaches don't know that that rule. 38. Which of the following would not be considered illegal procedure? All right, throwing the cross at opposing player. That's
Okay, Paul, what is the
that's
penalty for throwing your cross at an opposing player?
unsportsmanlike conduct. All right. You can't throw your stick at the ball, a player, the goal. Okay. That's more than a legal procedure. All right. What would be a legal procedure for throwing your stick? Maybe the coach is throwing his stick to his player in the box, the illegal exchange or something like that, where they throw the sticks. Okay, but if you can never throw your cross at a player, the ball, or the goal. All right, number 39. Goalkeeper, B1 leaves the field to serve a penalty. B2 enters a crease properly equipped, but with a midfield cross instead of a goalkeeper's cross. What do you got? Ruling, no. B2 must have a goalie stick. You can't restart the game until he does. All right, so the replacement goalie has to have all the proper equipment. Chest protector, the throat guard, and a goalie stick. Otherwise,
Well, let me ask you a question here on the goalie. Let's say the goalie he either got hurt or he committed a penalty, had to leave the game. What happens in the game?
so they're entitled to a 1 minute warm up for a backup goalie or for them to change a field player into a goalie. After the minute, okay, and they're not ready, they're gonna have to call a timeout. All right. If they don't have a timeout, it's gonna be a 30-second penalty for delay a game. Is that what you're looking for, Jim?
Yeah, and if the goalie does receive a penalty, he does have to serve it.
So goalies serve all penalties.
Yeah.
If it's a technical, if it's a personal, goalie has to serve it. If they don't have a backup goalie, they could possibly have to forfeit. So that's the reality of it.
You also have a little leeway there if the opposing coach says, hey, I know you don't have another goalie and we kind of want to finish this game. He'll allow that goalie to stay in the game and have the in-home serve it.
Yep. Good point.
But the rule book does say you have to have another goalie where the goalie receiving his penalty must serve. But
yeah,
common sense here, and if they do want to allow him to stay in the game, that's allowable.
Most coaches are gracious enough to do that, but you get a heated game against a rivalry team, and the coach could be a jerk. And if it's a 1-goal game, they're probably not going to allow it. So they're going to have to dress somebody really quickly. So just keep that in mind. Number 40, A1's in possession of the ball with both hands on the cross. He raises a forearm and directs B1's cross away from A1, creating space, ruling. Okay. So 40, 41 we'll kind of do together. Okay, 2 hands on your stick in high school, you can be called for warding. Not in not in number 40, because he warded the stick away. Now in 41, it says the body and directs the body away. So those are the two differences. So if 2 hands on your stick and you make contact and you try to direct the body away, that's illegal procedure turnover. So those are the two differences on those questions. All right. Stick is legal, body's not. That's a fairly new rule, maybe like 2 years old. 42, during play, B1 slashes A1, flag down. After the whistle to stop play, A1 and A2 commit conduct fouls. All right. You just have to kind of go through the sequence here and really think about it. But it's D, B1 serves 1 minute. The first 30 seconds is not releasable. A1 no time. A2 serves not releasable. B2 gets the ball. If you guys go to that rule 761, you could really see it laid out. This is these are simultaneous fouls, and there's a series of simultaneous fouls. I think we covered that, but there's dead ball simultaneous fouls and there's live ball simultaneous fouls. Okay, so that's what that's about. I won't spend a lot of time on that, but 761 will cover that. 43, A1 with possession is slashed by B1. Yeah, during the flag down, A2 interferes with B2, whistle, stops play. All right, B2 serves 1 minute, A2 no penalty time. So here the scenario is there's a flag down, and then A2 the A2 interference just kills the slow flag. All right, during live ball. It was a technical foul interference. 44, A1 with possession in the goal area slashed by B1. What would end the flag down slow whistle situation? All right, team commits technical foul. Yep, that was just like the other one. Okay, 45, A1 and B1 continue to push. shove, and talk to each other after the whistle. Both players are penalized, ruling any of the above 5'10" or 6'6". Okay, so that's simul that you can give them, both conduct fouls. You can give one sportsmanlike. Whichever team has the ball keeps it. Okay, if the ball is loose, then you go EP. 46. An opposing player may never contact the stick of the goalkeeper while the goalkeeper's feet are in the crease. False. Okay, that's false.
Paul, when would you be
never.
allowed to touch the goalkeeper's cross while he's in the crease?
Goalkeepers.
If the ball is outside the crease and he's attempting to rake it, the riding team may check or go underneath that goalie stick to try to obtain the ball.
Yeah. So the goalie stick is outside the crease. It's in his feet are in. That's free game. Okay. If it's a loose ball, the ball's in possession of the goalkeeper outside the crease, then you can't do that. No. Okay. 47. Yeah. An opposing player may never contact the stick of the goalkeeper while the goalkeeper's feet are in the crease.
46,
False. Officials should penalize
47.
spectators in the stands. Wait, what? 47.
Yeah, when it was typed up, there was a duplicate.
There's a typo there.
I had to clean that up a little.
Oh, okay. So 46 and 47 are the same.
No. It's 47.
Okay.
47
Oh.
officials should penalize unruly spectators in the stand.
Oh, I see. Okay, I have it written down here. Officials should penalize. No. Who should penalize spectators? The onside administrator, the athletic director. Okay, but not the officials. Okay. That's not our job.
Your first line of defense is go to the head coach of the offended team and ask them to control the spectators, control his crowd. If he refuses or cannot, stop the game and go to the onside administrator. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah. I know in tournaments, sometimes we like to do that. 48, if during any time in the game, a team cannot put 10 players on the field, the game is a forfeit. That's false. Okay. 49, the only official who should ever explain anything to the coaches is the referee. That's false as well. The umpire, field judge, the crew, we talk to the coaches, especially during the game. Yeah, have a good rapport with them, the assistant coaches. Remember, if they ask a question, answer it. Statements are different, questions are good. Then 50, officials should never interact or answer the question of an assistant coach. That's false. Okay. I just kind of answered that in 49. Talk to them, have a rapport with them. You don't have to be their best friend, but just have, coaches and all three refs should have a nice rapport going. We don't want to have this mentality like he's an assistant coach. I'm never talking to him. All right. Don't have that mentality because it won't end well. So
the
those are the
assistant
50
coaches you
questions that
want
you'll
to
see.
get on your side and you want to have a working rapport with are the substitution, the box coaches. And talk to them before the game or even during the early part of the game and say, hey, coach, let's have good subs today. We're going to be watching or during the game, hey, let's clean that up, clean up the box. Have your guys wait for them. You want to be real careful once the game started. You don't want to say, hey, 47 white, you can't go early. If the other coach hears you say, hey, 47 white, you go, well, why didn't you call that? So what I do is I talk in very general terms. Hey, subs, wait for the sub, good substitutions. Hey, good work today. And then I compliment them when they're doing it right. Hey, good job, guys. Good job. Way to go. We'll be watching, so make sure that box stays clean, things like that. So
and don't say a lot to them.
Don't say, if you go early, I'm going to get you. That's not what anyone wants to hear.
Don't use threatening terminology. Don't just keep it simple because they use your words against you. So just be respectful. You want them to be respectful, and we want them to be respectful towards us. So, does anyone have any questions? Anyone take any notes? Anything that was confusing? Let us know.
Guys, if you have questions, please open up your mic and Ask away. Now's your chance.
Yep, this is preseason week. Next week's week one. You guys have questions, call us. Jim, myself, Mark. A lot of guys, I always like to use Mark and Lee Mowry and Mark Martinez. They call me at 9 o'clock at night on the way home from a game, and I love it. I don't mind that at all. Something just happened in the game, and they were like unsure, or they wanted to see what the right call was, and we welcome that. Okay, so that's take note of stuff that happens. Get together as a crew and go out for beer. Get together with another crew. Find out where the games are. Try to meet up on a Friday night or Thursday night or something. And we may put out some emails as well as we may meet throughout the season at different locations.
Anybody have any questions? There was a question that was typed in the text. Randy Kerr had asked a question about who keeps track of the illegal stick, and Jim Vacco answered it. The answer is the table personnel are keeping track of the illegal stick. So make sure you're talking to your table personnel when you get to the field.
Yeah, and you kind of know, like, oh man, that guy's had seems like 3 or 4 fouls. Go over to the bench after a quarter or halftime or whatever. How many fouls does 5 have? How many? Just kind of you should know. You definitely should know as a referee too. Yeah.
Jim, that question was about how do you know when a player has accumulated 5 minutes in fouls? I
Oh,
think
sorry.
so.
It's written
Yeah.
down.
It's in the book, so the table personnel is recording that.
Yeah, the home
Yep.
book is the official book.
Does anybody else have any other questions? I only have one housekeeping item I want to mention. So I'll wait and see if there are any questions, and if there are none. So actually 2 housekeeping items. The email that came out from Jeremy yesterday said the test deadline is the 19th. According to the website, the test deadline is the 26th. Regardless, please get the test done ASAP. It'd be nice if our association could lead the state in getting this test done before everybody else. That's item number 1. Item number 2, we're going to try to have a call, an all hands on deck call on Monday night, the 19th of February. There's only one game on that day, so everybody is for the most part off. We'll discuss it, and I'll put an invite out to everybody once we finalize a date and time for that. But it'd be a good way to review the first week plus preseason for any questions or issues that have come up. Hearing no additional questions, I'm going to stop the recording, and Paul and Jim and I will hang out for those of you that have additional questions. And if you're not going to stick around, I will bid you a good evening. Good luck this week to those of you that have preseason games. There are games at St. Andrews on Saturday if you want to go observe. There are games at University School in Broward County if you want to go and observe, or if you want to get some additional field time. Please let me or Mark Rudwell know, and we can schedule you for that. One comment on the timers. A couple of you have asked me about them. Unfortunately, the company that makes the Ref Smart timer went out of business, and thankfully, Purchase Officials, the company that we get a lot of our stuff from, and that Don Chappie had gotten all that gear from at the annual meeting, bought all of the rights to the timer and is having another company produce 4,000 of them. However, they will not be in hand until sometime around the 20th or 23rd of February. I'm on a hot list and will get notified, and I will put out a flash message as soon as I find out when they will have them. I did ask him to hold on to 5 of them because I know at least 5 of our officials are looking for the timers. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entirety of this session. Have a good night, good luck, and be careful.